Welcome, I'm Joanne Danckwardt from One Agency JD Property Agents, and I feel really privileged to have with me today Dianne Chalk from Hill Ross Fairy Meadow. Dianne is an expert, I feel, in aged care, and what I find, Dianne, is we're an ageing population. There's a lot of people that are in their homes and struggling, and they don't necessarily want to sell. They've been in the home for a long time. What options do they have available?
Well, the government is now funding a lot of people to stay at home rather than going into aged care. So, and also financially, there's a lot of money available, but people don't know about that. They're still relying on family to provide meals or cleaning or shopping or doctors, but there is actually home care packages, and from next month, which is tomorrow, they're going in February. There's going to be the onus is back on the owner, the person, to have their own program set. So if they need podiatry or they need someone to do the shopping, but it's also comes down to being assessed. So the aged care assessment team have to assess you to see what level of care, home care you require. So there's levels 1 to 4. One being, you may need some showering or shopping or whatever, up to level 4, which is just pretty much you need full-time care. So, and that's all managed on your behalf with probably a provider to provide the care facilities, but then you choose what's facilities. So financially, it's actually a very good offering, and it takes the burden off a lot of families too. But a lot of people, again, don't know because they're relying so much on their families. But if a lot of the care stuff can be outsourced, then the families may have an opportunity to have a bit of a relationship with their parent rather than their carer.
Yeah, be enjoying the time that they have with the family rather than feeling like they've always got things to do.
There's so much money available and people don't know that they're entitled to it.
I do sometimes worry though that even with that level of care that it might not be enough.
Sure.
And they're not really ready to go into aged care. So is there other things too?
Yeah, look, more about the home care package. You get assessed for the type of care that you require, and then that's funded. You have to provide some funding towards it, but the government subsidises it fairly substantially. But if the home, they may be living at the back of Mount Ousley, and they become prisoners in their home, and that's very common. So they may consider retirement living. As a second, or downsizing as a secondary option. So with retirement villages or over 55s, there's lots of, that's under a different legislation. So that's under the state legislation, not federal government. So you've got to be, the buyer, be very aware of that. When you're going into retirement living, that you read the fine print.
Okay, so what should they be looking out for in retirement living?
The cost of going in.
Okay.
The ongoing costs while you're in there.
Like a monthly fee?
Yes, they call it all sorts of things, and the exit fee. Potentially the exit fee, and I've seen them up to 35% deferred management fee, they call it. But so you just got to be aware, and how does that fit in with your cash flow? So it's not just packing up the family home and moving into a retirement unit and then thinking I've got a guaranteed entry into aged care. It doesn't always work like that. So.
Oh, they're very, very important things to know about before you need them.
Exactly.
Before you need them.
Yeah.
So,
and it's all sort of well and good to say, I'm moving into here, and then they realise later that they can't really afford the ongoing costs of providing for the maintenance or whatever fees that they have to pay. So it's really important to look at those three things.
yes. So it can be very costly from what I've seen too.
Some of them deadly, and particularly if you're going to the northern state, buyer be extremely wet. Some of those I've seen some of the contracts, and so a lot of them are under the Caravan Parks Act.
Okay.
So
it's very interesting.
So some of them you're actually leasing or renting the land.
Yes.
Others you're actually just buying the house on the land.
Yes.
So you've got to be very careful. And also the treatment of Centrelink and how they assess. Some places actually offer rent assistance to those facilities. So it's very
complicated, isn't it? It's really nice to be able to talk to you because I know that there's a lot of people that can feel very overwhelmed and stressed about the situation, and so it's given them some tips and some interesting things to think about before they, go down dive in, as you said. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
For more tips and hints, go to our website joanned.com.au.